Ayana is late for everything. She late for this. She late for that. And I get it. It's probably because she works at night. So doing stuff for the day is kind of rough when she just getting home. But you had to go back in the basement to change clothes to go see Jamal. You had on some black short dress for court and you changed it to some jeans and a top. Why didn't you just get dressed before your court time? You're at home. This girl just don't have she just don't have no guidance. And I kind of like Mike is cute. All the little different pictures. He got a lot of different looks, but the one he's sporting right now is not it. I cannot stand that mustache with that hair in the front. But those other pictures of him, he looks pretty cute. But they might be old pictures too, because he's been in jail for so long or in and out for so long. Then, did Slick Rick find some money? Okay, when he went to go play pickleball with Dan, he borrowed some money from Dan. Because all of a sudden, he going to Idaho. And chow, chow, chow. We'll get into the rest. Let's get into it. Hey, besties. This is Behind the Shade. Another episode of Love During Lockup. Season 5, episode 28. The Morning After. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. Good way to support the channel. And let me know how you would rate this episode. I'll give my rating as we get into it, because Okay, so let's first couple, Ayana and Jamal. She changes clothes. She is an hour and a half late for her visit with Jamal. She was granted 3 hours. She was granted a 3-hour visit, but baby is running late. She's an hour and a half late. So she's getting ready. This is her first visit. She has seen Jamal in years. Or I don't know. I think this was her first, right? Her first visit since he's been in jail. She drops the kids off at her brother's house. So now you're even more late. Why he couldn't come get the kids? Why he didn't drop the kid? Never mind. I'm just back to last week's episode with I'm trying to feed my daughter. Why didn't you drop the kids off to your brother's house before court? And then you would have just had everything in order. Like, it's called, you got to get up, Ayana. You got to get up in the morning. Okay. So Lexi says that Ayana is not in touch with reality. Right. I agree, Lexi. This is her coping mechanism. And if she doesn't think the worst, then it won't happen. Well, no, ma'am. The worst is happening, but not really the worst. But okay, coping mechanism. Okay, so by the time she gets to the visit and gets in and gets processed and all that, and by the time she sees him, child, their visit was only 30 minutes long. 30 minutes long. And she blames it on the Zoom court. Nothing is ever Ayana's fault. It's everyone else's fault. Okay. And I just had a thought about how petty the court system can be. Who's to say that they did not know that she was going to visit Jamal that day? Remember, they were supposed to do court the day after she went to visit him, and they changed the date to the day before. I bet you the courts knew that she was going to visit Jamal that day. That's why they changed her court date. I can almost guarantee you. Then what's so funny is, I don't know, I guess y'all ain't never visited nobody in jail, but they don't do nothing fast and on time. They don't do nothing fast. Isn't this her second DUI? She should know how the jails are. They slow and they do what they want to do because they are there to inconvenience you. That's the point. They want to discourage you from coming up there. Okay, so she was so upset she didn't get to things didn't go the way she wanted it to. She is just gotta pull over. She crying, she lashing out at Lexi. And she's talking about how how she needs him because he keep her calm and da, 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 she don't know what she gonna do. And if I was Lexi, I would be looking at her like, girl, excuse you, I'm taking my time out of my day to run you all over everywhere you trying to go because you don't have a car. You better appreciate me too, sweetheart. Okay. So she's going to jail for 2 weeks. She just cannot get her mind right about this jail sentence. And baby, you would think Ayana was going away for 2 years. You're going away for 15 days, Ayana. I mean, girl, if you don't go to jail and get you some sleep, go on up in there. You in there, you can't wait. You did already learn how to do makeup. What was it? Hot cocoa powder and some soda? Girl, go in there and make up them girls' faces and go in there and get beat up because your attitude is so stank. Them girls gonna fight Ayana. She gonna have a fight or two while she in here for 15 days because she is a oof. So anyway, I try to like everybody, but like I told y'all, I only report with the TV shows my eyes. The TV show my eyes that she's a mess. Okay, so she can't help. She going crazy behind these 2 weeks. And she don't know what she gonna do without her soulmate. Baby, your soulmate is Lexi. She'd take you everywhere you want to go. From your house to your mama's house, to your brother's house, to the jail house, to the stripper house. That girl is your soulmate. So she out in the car talking about who she got to give money to. She talking about Jamal, but she has to give people money. Probably her mother too, because she's gonna watch the kids. She got to make sure the kids are good, right? She got to get the baby an umbrella stroller, right? And then she starts crying. Ayana, you gonna be all right. You just a little too childish. You need to grow up. You're 27 and you act like a 19-year-old. You need to grow up because you should be a little bit more advanced at almost 30 years old. And they say that kids supposed to mature you. You've had 2 of them. But what little Mama Q, when she was walking on wobbling like a little baby fat, she had her little barrettes in her hair. She was so cute. But I just concerned that Ayana has all this pent up aggression and she lashes out around this baby. And I don't like that for the baby. Okay, moving on. Let's get into Andrew and Candace, shall we? Candace is free, child. So they their episode, their part they start, they're at the wellness care place, and they tell her at the wellness, not wellness, but the well care. At the well care place, they tell her that she doesn't have to stay there. She can text them every day and she don't have to stay there. She don't even have to come by. But she's worried that if her PO shows up and she's not there, parole and probation may put her back in jail because they told her she has to stay there. So, dum, hello, then you should just stay there. Why don't you stay there and first and get a feel for the place? Get in good with the people, see how it goes, let your PO roll up, and then maybe you sneak away. But, girl, anyway. So she said, let's go back to the apartment and relax. So they go to the apartment and she loves it. Oh, she hops on the bed and she's like, what size bed is this? And he like, a king size bed. And it's like, Andrew, Why did you buy that girl the biggest? Well, there is a California king, but why did you buy her that big old bed? You are inviting her to cheat on you while you back in Jersey. She didn't need a king size bed. This girl been in jail. You could have got her a twin size bed. Okay, a full. Okay, yes. She didn't need no big old king size. You could have bought her a full size bed. Bed just big all over the bedroom. Can't even walk by it. It's so big. Can't even go to the bathroom. It's so big. So she said she wanted some fried chicken. And my homies them said it was Raising Cane's chicken that he went and got them. Some chicken nuggets from Raising Cane's. We have one here, but I've never been there. I hear it's not good. All I hear is that the bread is good and the sauce is good. But if you remember when they were driving down the street, they passed by Popeyes. I wonder why they didn't go to Popeyes. Because is it Raising Cane? No, Raising Cane is not the one that's in the gas station. That's Crunchy somebody. Crunchy Chicken is in the gas station. But yeah, Raising Cane, I guess that's what Andy likes. So she feels good after she gets out the shower. And then is it the next morning? And then, she's talking about how she's not ready for sex. And it's been 2.5 years since the last time she had sex. And then production. And if you peep, production sounded like a sister. She was like, "Are you attracted to Andrew?" And there is a pause. I'm attracted to Andrew. Girl, no, you not. So the next morning, she said, he's like, "How did you sleep?" And she's like, "It took me forever to go to sleep." So clearly Andrew, he didn't have a problem falling asleep. Then she addresses knowing that he's affectionate and she wants to be that way too. And she wants to have sex too, but she just not over her SA in the past and how she used to be. And she wants to get back on track with her son. And it was like, did Andrew ask you all that? He just wanted to know how you were doing. And you wake up in the morning, she flat out in her hair. You're just all into the stuff. You just got the battery in your back. You're just trying to deflect. Because Andrew laying up there looking at you like or like he want to take you down. And you know that. So he says he realizes that he can't force her to be intimate. So then she gives us a backstory about her son. We didn't ask for that. So she was like, when he was 3, her and the dad was married. I think she had him at 18 years old, and they split up when the baby was 3, and the baby went to stay with his dad, and he has custody. And so then she was introduced to drugs, and she went away because she said she just couldn't be a mom like that. And I'm just thinking, Candace, baby. Come here, baby. Come here. Candace, you can't turn off the mother switch. You can disappear and go away, but you can't. You're still a mother. You're a mother if you're in his life, out of his life, on drugs, on whatever, doing whatever you were doing, you were still his mother. You can't turn that off. No, can't turn it off. You went away because you couldn't face him and be a mom like that. True, but you're still a mom. So Andrew, he asked her, can she commit to him? And I'm just sitting here like, and she says yes, but she's dealing with a lot. She wants the relationship with her son first. Then why did you allow Andrew to pack up all this stuff for you, buy all this stuff for you? Because you did tell us that he just bought you something first, and then you sent him your list. And you continuously are sending him lists. Why are you setting all this up if you don't want to be with him? You know, like, and to me, it's like her and Andrew are having two different conversations. She's talking about the reasons why she can't commit to you and have sex with you. And you sitting there like, I understand. You want to commit to me? I get that. You trying to get to the commitment and she's running away from it, but you're too stupid to realize what she's saying to you. She said, I want a relationship with my son first. That's all you needed to know, Andrew. Then, right then and there, you should have packed up your stuff and anything else that you could have took with you, because she did go ahead and say how she is okay with living in the box. You should have packed that truck back up and took your butt back home. Let that girl go live in a box. She could go stay at that well care facility. Let her go and do her thing. I don't know what drove you to come into Vegas and thinking, did we not have this conversation before she got out of jail? But as soon as you get out, it's my son, my son, my son. And of course, every mother, that's what you should be doing. But you ain't been on that in a lot of years. You've been in and out of jail. Now you really want to, this might be real. You might want this. But you ain't doing it right, Candace. It's one thing to use him, but he got you set up to pay. How do you think he gonna keep the rent paid? How do you think that happens? You should have did what you had to do with your boyfriend. I think that's what you needed to do. He's going back to Jersey. It would have been a perfect relationship. You could have stayed in Vegas, handled your business with your child. And that's going to be hard because how old is the boy now? I think she said 11. You've been gone a long time. He don't know you no more. And these kids, I think they have rights. He might not want to be bothered with you, but you do need something. And that's just cold that you're going to use Andrew like this. Because if you don't, and you can't use people, karma comes back. And baby, Candace, you can't afford no more bad karma. You just can't. Okay, so that was that with that. I guess we gonna move on to Mr. It's On Like Donkey Kong. What is Slick Rick talking about? I ain't heard It's On Like Donkey Kong since the 80s, maybe the 90s. He's a few years, he's crazy. He's crazy. But let's get into Slick Rick and Samantha. Now, Samantha normally calls Slick Rick at about 6:30 every night. That's their little date or whatever. So this particular night, she hasn't called him. And he waited, an hour and a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, excuse me, y'all, he wrote a song for her. He's going to serenade her while he plays his guitar. And so she calls and she tells him, I really didn't want to call because she's mad. Samantha, you are always mad at him. And I guess this is her way. She know how to get to him, I guess. She holding out because he folded. So he sings the song, and in the song, he is proposing to Samantha, and she says yes. And so he's planning a trip to Idaho because he don't want to lose her. And Slick Rick he got a little teary-eyed. He started crying a little bit. So Samantha's like, yes, it's the right timing now. And he's glad he found her. And this is our fairy tale. And honey, Slick Rick is packing for Idaho. Slick Rick, where did you get that money from? Because you was broke as a joke the last couple of the last 4 episodes. You've been broke now. The last 4 episodes you have let us know you are retired and you are on a pension. And your ex-wife gets a percentage of your pension. You have let us know you are broke. Broke as a joke. But now it is on like Donkey Kong. So he flies to Idaho, child, and he done hooked up with his homie, The Uber driver, Ricardo. He's a black guy, handsome. He's not bad looking at all. But he drove him around the last time he came to visit Samantha. So they kept in touch, and he said they even went to church together. So he's telling Ricardo. Now I'm sorry for my ignorance, but there's black people in Idaho. Huh. Like you hear, I got a friend who's from Rhode Island, but I've never heard of anybody traveling to Idaho, going to someone's graduation in Idaho, having a family reunion in Idaho. I've never heard of anyone black mentioning anything about Idaho. Never. And how did Ricardo get there? That's what I want to know. Anyway, he's telling him that he's gonna get married to Samantha, and Ricardo's like, "What? So he said, "You got a ring?" Nah. So I'm gonna take you to the perfect place. Okay. So Ricardo takes Slick Rick to the pawn shop. They go to a pawn shop. And so he's in there looking at rings, and they're showing him rings. And so he's like, I can't get a too flashy ring because of jail. And so they found some old rinky dinky ring product, it's used. And the ring was $90, and was it 18 cents or 8 cents? But it was $90. And I'm like, Slick Rick, rickety slickety, you couldn't go to Walmart? You could have just went to a jewelry store and bought a band, like a little thin band. You had to get a used ring from a pawn shop. Walmart sells rings, Slick Rick. So then while I'm looking behind the man that works at the pawn shop, honey, there is this cute suede blue Gucci purse in the background. I'm like, how much is that? How much is that? I want it. I should call out there and be like, y'all still got that purse? That purse is cute. Let's see. Then they go to a vitamin shop, the vitamin store, to get vitamins. She done gave him a long list of vitamins. Even the sales lady was like, this is a long list. And Ricardo was like, bruh, why do she need all the vitamins? She ain't but 100 and something, 115 pounds. He said, I think she's selling vitamins. You know she is. Why does she need all the vitamins? So he said, Samantha is in jail slanging vitamins, child. She in there selling drugs. Oh, can I say the R word? Oh, I hope no. She in there selling vitamins. Okay, so then we get to, oh gosh. Let's do Joey and Mike. So now I'm looking at the title of this episode, right? And it says The Mourning. Not mourning, but mourning. Like mourning someone's death. And I was like, okay, someone. So you automatically think, oh, someone died, right? So Joey's mom had a brain aneurysm, and it led to her having a stroke. And she went to and they always telling everybody to get to the hospital to say goodbye. Child, when I tell y'all, I was like, oh no, please don't tell me that lady has passed away. Don't be putting people on my screen and then they die. I'm like, oh, please. I'm about ready to cry. So Joey says he checked out. He was MIA. And so we see that he's going to visit his friend Nancy just to chat, And so she throwing a pizza in the oven. And it's like, oh, okay, you just pulled out a pizza out your freezer and you serving it up. Okay. So he's at the table. And he is really if you guys have noticed, he's been questioning his relationship with Mike. Why do I keep with Mike for a couple of weeks. Joey is getting to his wits end. This is what wits end is building up to. So he's questioning his relationship. And even Nancy, the friend, was like, I'm just afraid he may go down the meth road. And he will. He will. It'll be behind Mike. If he was, let's just say, if he was to get out when he's supposed to, I'm sure they would slip into that because they won't hold each other accountable. If, let's say, if his mom passed away, that could trigger him too. And then if he doesn't end up with Mike, that could trigger Joey too. So it's just like he has all these situations that can lead to the road of drugs again. So he says he does not want to wait on Mike anymore. He said when he was at that hospital visit, he realized that he wants someone there for him. Like when he got home, it would have been nice to have someone that came up there with him. It would have been nice if he would have came home to someone to get a good hug. And and so he still thinks Mike is getting out in 4 months. Now, Mike has told us over and over again that he may be facing 6 more years. When is he going to tell Joey? So Joey tells us that he has these old possession charges that can get him to 6 more years. So Joey is like, Joey said he would be devastated if this relationship doesn't work out. And that's pretty much saying that I'm going to go back on a binge if this doesn't work out. Like, what are you going to do? But we do know Joey is on dating sites. Hopefully he will meet some people who are not in prison so he can make that switch over, from Mike to someone else smoothly. Hopefully we get somebody clean and safer and better fit for Joey. Because moms may need help. He's there. So he might turn into a caregiver soon. So he might be there, he's mentioned that he would probably have to be there for his dad and his mom. Okay. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Let's see. We have Shantae. We have Shantae and True. This girl is trying to go meet his mama and his sister. Shantae. How are you trying to go meet his mother and his sister before you meet him? You don't even know him. Girl, please. So, Shantae and her niece are going to go meet his mom and sister. And she says she texts with the mom every now and then, and she's how negative she is every time they text. It's not negative, Shantae. His mother is trying to create your reality, but you're too stupid to see it that way. True and his mom. Let me stick with the notes. So yeah, True and his mom wasn't talking for a very long time because just easy. Let's say this: she put him in jail. Not she didn't put him there. He did do a crime, right? But she was a character witness for his court case. She got people to testify against him because she didn't think he would change if he was to get out. So they gave him 13 years. 13 years. Girl, what? So they didn't talk for years. I don't blame him. How dare you? What kind of mom are you? I mean, I understand keeping it real and all that, but you testified against your own child? Well, child, maybe he stole from her. Maybe that was the last straw. He stole from her. So they started back talking. And so True was talking about how he forgave her because he asked God to forgive him. Uh, okay. I don't know. I just feel some kind of way that you testified against your son and you got other people to do it too. Who are these people that y'all know? Because if she would have asked me, I'd be like, girl, no, man, I ain't got it. I ain't doing that. True, no, 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 no. I had a thought and I'm trying to remember. Oh, so y'all, this is probably why True don't date black women. I know that this is why. Because he was mad at his mama and his sister and all other black women that testified against him. It makes sense now why he doesn't date black women. Remember he was saying how because y'all ratchet. Snitching on your son is very ratchet. It's very ratchet. So Shantae is sitting with his mom. You know, she come in, the niece and her pack up in the car. They go. Now, how many kids Shantae got? She got 3, huh? She got 3 kids and 2 grandkids at 35 some years old. Are you telling me that 19-year-old girl got 2 kids? She got a 17-year-old girl daughter and a 16-year-old son. I don't know if the 19-year-old has 2 kids or does one of them other kids have a kid too. But baby, that is Shantae, your focus, you need to be focusing on your family. I'm sorry, because even if you are 30 something years old, you had your 19-year-old young, right? Isn't that she was a teenage mom, right? And now they're teenage moms. Um, Girl, you got stuff you could be focusing on besides this dude in jail. This is just ridiculous. You need help. You need a second income. So she drives somewhere. I'm gonna assume she went somewhere where you needed luggage and a hotel room. So that tells me that you drove hours to go meet this woman, and you can do that, but you can't go see True. That's interesting. So she brought her niece because she rowdy, batted. She got her for her support. She turns up with her in the car to my, you got to respect me to get respect because I'll just respect the 80-year-old. And girl, shut up. So she sits with his mom. They come into the restaurant. Don't even look like they checked into the hotel because the cousin is sitting at the bar with the luggage. So the mom was sitting there waiting, and he calls the mom, and he like, yeah, she just got here. So he's like, put me on speakerphone. I want to listen in. Mom's got questions. And so, no, she like, call me back. So they hang up. And so, mom's is questioning Miss Shantae, how long y'all been dating? You never met him in person? Why haven't you visited him? And then Shantae tells us she has her reasons why she not visiting him, but it's too deep and too personal. And she not saying why she not visiting him. So then the mom's like, are you happy about the release? And so she was like, yeah, we've been working hard on this. And so, the mom was like, he's a handful. And she said, and he's your handful. And it's like, Shantae, hello, the woman is telling you to run. You ain't peeping none of the signs, huh? She is telling you, girl, get on with your life. So then Angela, True's sister, joins them. And so did he call back again? He did. So she says, so they talk or whatever. So she gets off the phone. And so she's like, the sister's like, that's your fiance. And so she got questions. She was like, how and why haven't you seen him? And so, she said, well, it just started off, we was just kicking it on the phone. And, we just decided to start dating. And then the sister said, did he tell you that he don't date black girls? And so Shantae said, well, it's the first time for everything. And so the sister like, So in the sister's confessional, she says, she's not his type. She's not his type. So yeah, I think he did call. So he got the mama thinking he coming to her house. So I think that's what the sister asked. Like, you going over to her house? And so he said something like, what make you think that? Something he said that wasn't even, now, blood, you're on speakerphone and everybody can hear you. And you just like, you scared of your mama? You can't tell your mama you're going to your woman's house? The woman who packed up and moved from, I don't remember the states. Let's say she packed up and moved from Kansas and moved to Missouri. This woman moved to a whole nother state, uprooted her 3 kids and her 2 grandkids, transferred her job from one Popeyes to the other, or whatever fast food chain she worked at. She says she paying 2 mortgages, but honey, I found out that baby girl lying. She lying. So you mean to tell me that you got this woman so in love with you that she moved to Missouri so you didn't have to so you can come home to her, you can, get paroled to her house, and you can't tell your mama that you're going to stay there? And we don't even know where the mama live. Like, are they back in, where are they? What state are they in? Did they just travel like an hour or 2 or 3? Like, where are they? So he blah. I didn't say. How do you know I'm gonna do that? And it's like, God, true. And so the mama said, well, I didn't know you was going over there to her house because you better tell me something because I'm fixing up the room for you. And, at her house. So I said, okay, true. You're double-minded. You are so double-minded. Never mind last week about the pictures. Now you can't even tell the truth between your mama and your woman. Oh, my God. So the mama just straight up asked Shantae, do you think he's using you? And honey, she did that. She said what we thought she would say. I know folks on the outs that are getting used on a daily. You take, ma'am, that's not the answer. She asked you, do you think he's using you? You say you know folks on the outs that are getting used daily. So is that a yes or is that a no? What do you think he's doing? Just because people are using people who, what are you saying? That everybody uses everybody? What are you saying? So she says, you take some of the same chances with dudes out here. The only difference is I'm just not seeing him. And so child of mom says, well, I'm hoping for the best. I am hoping for the best. That's all moms have to say. She does. She did ask her questions, and she has classified Shantae as a certified dummy. And I have too. I'm going to rate this episode. It was pretty interesting. I'm still not mad at the show. I'm still loving that Love During Lockup is much better than the last few seasons. It's been good. I'm still engaged. I'm still loving it. We had some good stuff that happened. Andrew and Candace, we see she trying to break left. Ayana is having meltdowns, and she only got to see Jamal for 30 minutes. And Slick Rick found some money and went to Idaho. Now he about to get married to Samantha. Joey's mom is sick, and he's checking out. So, besties, in the comments, let me know what you rate this episode. What are your thoughts? about the show. Do you think Joey is gonna leave and break up with Mike? Do you think that's gonna happen? Oh, did I tell y'all that I found out that Shantae she don't have mortgages on those two different homes. She was renting both, she rents both homes, or probably just the one she lives in now. And I believe I heard that she was in trouble about the rent. I don't know why would she anyway. Why would she lie about being a renter versus owning a house? You didn't own those houses. You was not paying $5,000 a month for both homes. I believe the rent for both homes came out to like $3,000. Because even I was thinking, you're talking about Kansas and Missouri. You're in the Midwest. Why would your mortgage be so high? Why? And I was wondering, someone who works at a fast food chain, how are they able to afford purchasing home? I'm not saying that you can't, but I was just wondering, how could she afford to buy two homes in two different states working at Popeyes or wherever she worked? Okay, besties, I will see you on the next video. Ta-ta.